Are you price hunting for the cheapest option out there for your new website? Or are you shopping around for the lowest SEO quotes that you can find? Maybe you've already got a website up, you're realizing it's not really doing what it needs to be doing, and you're going to hire some SEO person. And are you shopping around for the most low cost that you can find? If that is the case, then stick around. Because before you make a decision, you will want to stay tuned because often choosing the low cost solution can cost you much, much more in the long run. I'm going to be going to explain why today in this episode of Tea Time Tip Marketing for Busy Entrepreneurs. And we're going to explore the true costs of cheap, low cost, inexpensive when it comes to your business website and SEO options. And I'm also going to cover some of the things that you should be looking for when you are on the hunt for people to help you out with those kinds of things. So if you are looking for a website that is designed to convert visitors into paying customers or potential customers, then you are banking on search engine optimization to bring those targeted customers to your website. And honestly, it doesn't pay to take shortcuts. And so we're going to be talking about the two kind of combined today, the SEO and the website stuff, because they're both really intertwined. They really shouldn't be separated. And so for anybody who does not know who I am, I'm Susan Friesen with eVision Media, and I am the founder of a full-service web development and digital marketing company in Abbotsford, BC, where we help build successful businesses through brand and graphic design, custom website design and development, digital marketing, and SEO, and all that kind of fun stuff, so that our clients can be proud to showcase their business to the world. Saving money is usually a good thing, but in this instance, the old adage actually is true, that you get what you pay for. You're doing business a big disservice if you're shopping around for price alone when you're looking to hire somebody to develop your website and to do your SEO optimization with. And heaven forbid that you're actually going to try and do both of those things yourself, because you are truly doing your business a disservice unless you are already a web developer and an SEO specialist. Before you try and do it yourself or hire the most least expensive quote received, let's explore what it really does cost you in the long run, and why a cheap website really isn't worth it unless you're into wasting time, effort, and money. You want to be making money, not wasting it, right? So the first thing that when you're on the hunt, whether it, for an SEO specialist or for a web development firm, is to understand that not all estimates are the same. You really have to be careful about what it is that you are receiving back when you are asking for estimates out there. You have to take into consideration what is included, and more importantly, what has not been included. The difference between those two makes a big, big difference in as far as the success of your website, on how it ends up culminating and becoming. And, so that finished product really will have a drastic difference between, what was listed as what that firm is going to do and what was left out. And so what you need to know is what to look for. What is it that you're going to be looking for when you want to hire somebody to help you with your website? And so there's some things that I'm going to list here, and these are kind of intertwined along with the SEO optimization, because in an ideal scenario, you want to hire someone like us who are official, bona fide programmers. Our expertise is website programming as well as SEO expertise. The two combined is what makes you a very powerful website. So these are the kinds of things that you would want to be looking for in an estimate, and to make sure that you're getting the best of both worlds when you're getting a website developed. So the first thing is that some preliminary research is going to be done. There's no point in having a website thrown up if no research was done first to understand your brand positioning, who your target market is, what is it that you want to be known as, and what is it that you're offering, and how should you be presented to the world in order to make the best conversions. The other thing that is really important is to do some keyword research. The whole website, right from scratch, should be built with that sense of what kind of keywords are going to best suit this website so that it gets the best rankings in the search engines right out of the gate. And then there's some planning that needs to happen as well. A sitemap needs to be created, and a page and content planning, so that you're not just throwing something up. You're not just throwing spaghetti on the wall. There's actually some thought process that goes into it. And what I do is actually, when I put together a website estimate for a potential client, I do that for them already. I do that planning and research and put together that sitemap for them and the content planning. So, before the website is even being built, that part of the work has already been done. I'm already giving them, the people that I do an estimate for, that sitemap as this is what I recommend for that business, for the best positioning. And then you have to think about, in terms of the SEO optimization, how is the content that's going to go into the website, how is it going to be optimized? Who's going to do the optimization? Who's going to add in the content even? Sometimes people will just assume that, the person that they have hired is going to add in all the content for them, but that's not necessarily the case. So you have to make sure that you understand who's going to be writing the content and who is going to be adding the content into the website. And how is that content going to be styled as well? For us, it's like, for me, it's assumed, right? We're going to style the content, but that doesn't necessarily mean that everybody assumes that. There are some people who will just copy and paste what you give them, and boom, it's done. And no styling has been done. No, just to make it look pleasing and pleasant to your user, so that the user experience has been completely optimized. So that's all very important. And the Google Analytics should be always part of the package as well, so that the stats can be tracked right off the bat. Who's coming to your website? How many people are coming? Where are they coming from? What's the bounce rate? All that kind of fun stuff. And then there should be some testing and reporting as well. So, especially when the SEO package is combined with the website package, there should constantly be an ongoing test and tweak process. And then every month a report be sent to you to tell you what the progress is. How's the website performing? How is it getting up in the search engine rankings for certain keywords and things like that? And it's important to know that from an SEO perspective, you should absolutely, unequivocally, never, ever, ever be guaranteed any kind of organic search engine results. If you have asked somebody for an estimate for the SEO optimization or combined SEO and website, and this person is guaranteeing you number one or top of page one or top of page two, that's just not going to happen. That is not at all a guarantee that anybody on this earth can give. And that's because Google holds it very tight to the chest what those Google algorithms are. So nobody knows what the secret sauce is. The only thing that we can do as marketers, and Daniel can attest to this, is that testing and tweaking. And of course the experience too. Like, he's been doing this for many years. So he has a few ideas of what will work, and he tries them out, and okay, that didn't quite work. Let's test and tweak. Never, ever, ever do we guarantee top of the search engine rankings for organic for organic reach, because that's impossible to make that kind of a guarantee. We can when we're doing Google ads, when we're paying, but that's a whole nother story. That's a whole different area there where your ad could potentially show up at the top of the page. And the other thing that that you really need to be wary of is if anybody says, oh, well, I've got some proprietary tricks of the trade up my sleeve and nobody else knows what I know. So, I'm going to get you the best results. Now, that's not, that is false. They might have their own ideas and sense of what they might be able to do for you, like what I was just describing, what Daniel's process is, but it's not proprietary. Anybody can figure it out. And it is all about the testing and tweaking. So don't ever hire anybody who can guarantee you top of the search results, okay? Promise me. All right. And then when we're talking about SEO, not all SEO is really SEO. So not only are you from this disadvantage of not really totally understanding what SEO is, and you are in need of SEO, and you are asking so-called SEO experts to help you with that, understandably, you are in a trusting position, right? You have to trust that that person is actually knowing what they're talking about. But unfortunately, with SEO and with web development, that is not the case. There are some SEO people out there who will charge just a little bit. They'll promise a whole bunch, but all they're really doing is installing some kind of plugin like SEO Yoast into WordPress. And then they use the autofill to fill in the meta titles and the descriptions and the keywords and things like that. That's not SEO. That's not using any kind of expertise whatsoever. That's just using a tool and not knowing how to use that tool properly. And so be careful about that. What happens is if you do go that cheap route and hire somebody who only does that kind of stuff, is that your website is never going to really rank very well at all, especially for those high quality keywords. And actually, I just see here that Daniel has a message, and it's really important. I'm gonna pause for a second and put that on here, because Daniel says that it is a scam. The only guarantee is your domain name. And so what they do is they fraudulently make you think it is all for your keywords and phrases, but really what they're doing is they're saying, oh yeah, we could get you up at the top of the search engines as long as you type in your domain name. Well, of course you're going to pop up at the top because you're the only person with that domain name. So be careful about those kinds of, of promises, because there's a lot of scammers out there, a lot of fraudsters who are trying to sell you on their services. So thank you for that, Daniel. And what ends up happening is when your site doesn't rank well in the search engines, then nobody's going to find your website, right? They're not going to find it locally, as a, from just doing their searches in Google. And you end up losing out on really good, high quality leads because they never found you to begin with. They went off to their competitor who did do proper SEO optimization on their website. You try to save money here, but you end up losing here, you end up losing here, and you end up really, really missing out on all kinds of potential because of that. The well-developed SEO strategy takes time and expertise. It's not just something that you can just throw together or watch a YouTube video and say, oh yeah, I can do that, no problem. It's actually a long-term strategy. It's not something that's going to give you immediate results. The Google ads will, the SEM, search engine marketing tactics, will get you immediate results, but the SEO, the search engine optimization, is a long-term play. Both are very important, but the SEO is what we're specifically talking about today, and it is a long-term strategy. There's so many varying elements that are built on top of each other. So it starts here, you build upon that, you build upon that, you build upon that, and over time is when you get the best results. Eventually, you're going to achieve success in all of those efforts. So when you are looking to hire an SEO specialist, you're going to want to start with a consultation. If they are not starting off with any kind of a consultation to really get to know you and your business, then that's red flags all over the place. don't hire them. Because what they have to do is really a thorough keyword analysis and research to find out, what's really going to work well for your website. And a plugin, like I said, is not going to do that work. It has to be manual work, or there are some tools, other tools of the trade that SEO specialists can use to help with that keyword research. Like, even Google Planner will help with that. But they have to know you and your business first before they can do anything. And so, the SEO does play a big part in building a quality website. So that's what I was saying at the top, is that, you really want to make sure that the two are combined. That's the ideal scenario. Now, many times, in all honesty, we have clients who just simply don't have the budget to do both together. So they have opted, they've made a choice. I'll do the website now, and I know it's not ideal, but I'll do the SEO afterwards. At least the SEO is getting done. It's not an ideal scenario. The best scenario is to do the two together so that the SEO preliminary analysis can be done first. Then you build the website based on that analysis, and then you keep going for that ongoing maintenance of SEO optimization to get people more and more people and organic traffic to your website and get higher up in those search engines. And so doing a half-baked job is going to cost you valuable leads in the long run. It's as simple as that. You think that you're saving money by not doing any SEO at all. Some people have told me, oh, nobody in Google ever searches for my stuff. I don't count on Google to get me any business. I do everything differently. I don't need to be up in the search engines. They're fooling themselves. Of course you have to be up in the search engines if you want to build a successful business. Yeah, you can keep doing what you're doing and you can keep getting those leads right from that one place that you're getting, but there's no scalability there. You're only going to get what you keep getting because that's all you're doing. You're not going to be able to scale and if you don't have that search engine presence. So don't fool yourself into thinking that your target market is not using Google to find your kind of services. That's just not the case. Good SEO is sustainable. That's right. And just needs minor tune-ups periodically. And that's what Daniel does. That's what I mean by the maintenance, the test and tweak and the maintenance. So, you just keep updating it over a period of time, and that will get you the best rankings in Google. Just a final point about SEO is that, hiring a development firm that is not only experts in developing websites, but also in the SEO optimization is your best run. If you just hire a web development firm who doesn't pay attention to the SEO optimization, doesn't have anybody who knows that kind of stuff, then it's going to cause your website to underperform. It's as simple as that. The two really do need to be married together. All right, so the third point that I wanted to make is that not all web design is equal either. Just like not all SEO is equal, web design isn't equal either. And I've talked about this in the past, but it's worth mentioning again because it is all tied in with this. Cheap is going to get you exactly what you paid for, and you're going to pay much more in the long run. Same thing with websites. Over the years, WordPress has made it very easy for anyone to press a button and call themselves a web developer. Boom. I know how to install a WordPress theme. I'm now a web developer, charge a few $100, made some money. That is not a web developer, folks. Sorry, it just isn't. There's just so much more to it. There's so much more to it. And yeah, what happens is when there's these prefabricated, these pre-made themes that you can download, some for free, some for $50, whatever. And yeah, they can look really great and they can sound really tempting. Hey, I got a website for $50. Bonus, like that is really hard to turn down. I get it. And, they come with all these great bells and whistles and it's just like, flashing and it looks fantastic. But of course, I'm going to say, but your site needs to actually work great, not just look great. And what goes into a properly built website is the planning. Like I mentioned, all that foregone planning that you have to do, where the SEO plays a big role, but also identifying the target market and what they're looking for. Why are they coming to your site? What do they need to hear from you in order to convert them into being a paying customer? That has to be a part of the process. The SEO planning also comes long before the design. The proper site structure has to be created to make a very easy user experience, and that's because a confused user will just leave. Boom, they've gone to your competitor in a heartbeat. If if the site speed is another reason why they're gone into a competitor in a heartbeat. If your site takes a long time to load, they're gone. Impatience is the number one thing right now. And you know what happens? Those pre-built templates that you can download as a pre-created theme, they are so bloated and so bogged down with all of those extra bells and whistles that you don't need, that they cause the website to slow when it's being brought up, and it slows it right down. It irritates the user, and they're gone before it is even fully displayed. So that is one of the biggest reasons why you really don't want to be using those purchased WordPress themes, because the people who are developing those purchased WordPress themes may not themselves, they probably are developers, but they don't really care, right? All they care about is how it looks so that you'll buy it and they've made money. They don't care about the benefits that you're going to get, or the non-benefits that you're not going to get, and they don't care about your business success. Certainly not the way we do when we work with clients. It's we like almost our mantra around here is that, your success is our success. And we don't feel like we've succeeded until our clients have succeeded. So you don't get any of that if you just download a pre-built WordPress theme. And then also the mobile responsiveness too. Like, even just as short as 5 years ago, this was kind of all brand new to us, but now is mandatory that your website has to not only come up fast on a small screen, on your mobile screen, but it has to look proper too. It can't cause any confusion or frustration to the user. And so that's where that custom designed and built website really pays off in spades, because over 50% of your users now are using a smartphone, a smaller device, when they are going to check you out. And if you have lost 50% of the traffic to your website because it didn't load properly and it doesn't look properly on a smaller screen, then that's your business that's losing out. You didn't save any money. You lost a lot of money because of a business that you didn't get, that you don't even know you lost. That's the sad part about it all. Poorly written code will cause problems. At the end of the day, it's going to cause functionality not to work. It's going to cause conflicts if too many plugins are being used, because that's another thing that people who don't really know and understand websites, they just use a plugin for every single functionality when it's not necessary. Proper web developers don't need to use as many plugins, because we know how to actually create that functionality without the need of the plugin. And when you have too many plugins installed, a lot of conflicts can happen and things go wrong and the site slows down and things break and all kinds of messes happen. And I say this firsthand experience because we get a lot of people who have had somebody else develop their website. They're in a state of panic. That person has long left them or has no idea how to help them. Maybe they got their VA to do their website, who is not a web developer at all. And now they're in a panic. Now they have to spend, a whole bunch of money to get their website fixed, when they could have had it done properly the first time and not lost on anything in the meantime. And also the search engines too. When a website isn't coded properly, it's actually going to have an adverse effect on the search engine rankings too. You're not going to get higher up in those search engines because it's just really bogged down with bad code, and the Google bots can't access the website properly. It's a fact. Yeah. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about was the lacking of customization. when you purchase one of those WordPress themes, or when you hire somebody to build your website, and if you're hiring somebody who's not really a web developer, that's what they're doing. They're going and downloading a theme, and then they're just making modifications to it. And what happens is you don't have the customization that you may and probably need for your business. They can't make the changes that you really want to see. They can't move your logo from point A to point B. Those themes make it very limiting to do any kind of customization. And yes, programmers could go into the back end and change the code that was already written, but it's a mess, and it takes you twice as long to get it done. You might as well have started from scratch with a proper website. So what happens is those people are inexperienced, and that inexperiencedness, I think I just made a word, will not be able to create those custom features for you. They're going to rely on plugins. They won't be able to customize the plugins to better meet your needs either. Like, many times we've used plugins, but we've had to really modify them to make them do what the client needs them to do. So keep that in mind keep that in mind as well. And they won't even know to do the customization. This is something that you have to think about too. It won't occur to them that a customization should be done. What they'll do is they'll tell you, well, this is how it is. You get what it is. I can't do anything with this. It's impossible. We can't do anything with this, which is not true. And so, as soon as you start hearing limitations from people, then those are red flags. And what they're going to end up doing is just suggesting only what they know. They're not going to suggest to you what you need. They're not going to suggest to you what you should have. They're only going to suggest what they know, because that's what they know. They don't know anything else other than that. And that's one of the benefits of having us as a team, is that I have 3 bona fide web programmers on our team. And we have built websites from scratch, from Drupal, Joomla, WordPress, Magento, all over the map. So it doesn't matter. Like, we will suggest what you need, not only what we can do, because we can do a lot. We can do all kinds of different ways of web development. And so, you do get a huge amount of experience and expertise by choosing somebody who actually is a proper web developer, and not going with the cheap people who are just throwing up a theme for you. And so the other part about talking about this is that your website does need to attract your target audience. At the end of the day, it's not enough just to have a website up and say, "Woo, thank goodness, I got my website up. Let's sit back and wait for all for the phone to ring." It doesn't happen that way. That is not what's going to happen. If your website is not built in and designed in a way that will attract your ideal target market, if it doesn't have the compelling brand positioning in place to attract them, if it doesn't have the copywriting in place that will capture their interest, and if it doesn't have the proper calls to action that will actually compel them to, take action and do something, you're not going to get the results that you are hoping for. That all needs expertise, somebody who actually knows what they're doing to put those things in play so that your website will perform the way you expect it to. And I should clarify that not all templates are bad, right? But you do need to know that there is a cost associated with selecting the wrong person to build your website, and or heaven forbid, if you decide to build it yourself. So there are some templates out there that have been built really good. The problem is not knowing which ones they are. From a layman's perspective, you wouldn't know. And so, so I'm not dissing every single web developer out there who creates templates for WordPress. That's not the case. But the problem is not knowing the difference between the good ones and the bad ones, and then hiring somebody who also doesn't know the difference between the good ones and the bad ones. So if you have any questions at all about what I've been talking about here, I really would love to hear from you, because this is such an important topic. topic, and it's so prevalent right now. Like, there's so many people, I see on Facebook so many times, can anybody, refer a website that's really cheap for me? And I get it. I understand, sometimes we start off in business on a really, really low budget, but cheap is going to get you exactly what you're asking for. You might as well not even have a website at all and go out and do business the old-fashioned way and meet people in person and build your business that way until you can afford to invest properly in your branding and your website and your SEO optimization, honestly. And so, right at the beginning, your business plan should include a wise investment in the web development and SEO portion of building out your website, the marketing part of it, in order to set you up for success. Do it right the first time, not after you've spent thousands of dollars, hundreds of hours, and tons of Tylenol on the headaches that you're getting from all the stress and frustration, because you're not getting anywhere with your business. You've got a dud on your hands and you're not getting anywhere. So that is what I wanted to share with you today about the true costs between cheap, inexpensive, low cost, for when it comes to your website development and your SEO optimization. And I do encourage you, if you are in need of a new website, whether brand new or if your existing website just isn't doing what it's supposed to be doing and you need SEO optimization as well, give us a call. Daniel and I, we live for this stuff. Our whole team lives for this stuff, and just give us a call and go to our website, evisionmedia.ca. Okay, so Daniel says a couple of things also. Google will never call you. The calls about the Google business page are scams. Also, hundreds of emails you receive about SEO are all foreign entities that they do everything via programs and have been proved to be useless. And that is so true. Don't ever, ever, ever reply to an email out of the blue where somebody is promising you top of the search engine rankings. They're from a foreign country, and they're scams. You are going to pay big time for even entertaining in a discussion with those kinds of people. So thank you for that reminder, Daniel. And then Daniel also says, plus, it's illegal to spam you. So right off the bat, they're spamming you because it was unsolicited emails. And so you have to ask yourself, do you really want to hire somebody who skirts the laws to do your SEO optimization for you? You don't know. There's a big difference between white hat and black hat tactics. And I didn't even go into that today. That's a whole nother topic. You always want your web developer and your SEO resource to be 100% white hat. Yeah, thank you for that, Daniel. And then one more thing, I told you Daniel was going to have lots to say today. He says, out-of-the-box websites cannot be custom SEO optimized, such as Wix and others. I was talking a lot about the WordPress themes, but I didn't even touch on, Wix and all of these drag and drop website builders where you log into their website and you build your website within their framework. Just don't. You can't SEO optimize them. They are very, very limited. They are bloated code because of the drag and drop functionality. It creates a lot of bloated code, and you're not going to get the search engine rankings with that. Yes, I know it seems like a really low cost, cheap option, but that's exactly what you're going to get. Don't expect to get any results from it. Don't expect your business to flourish, and you're not going to be scalable with that. Sorry. That's, I'm Canadian. I just apologized for saying the truth. Yeah. So thank you for pointing that out, Daniel. That was definitely worth mentioning, is that, you do get what you pay for. So one thing that we do here at eVision Media is we try our best not to make cost the determining factor. We will be more than happy to work out a payment plan for you. So no, you don't need to cough up thousands of dollars right off the bat. That's not the case. We can spread it out and make it affordable for you so that you can have a properly branded, built, SEO optimized website right off the bat, and that will get you on the right foot right off the bat to build and scale your business. Then that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I so appreciate you coming along, and stay tuned. Every 2 weeks, I do a live tea time tip show, and every other second week is a recorded interview with some top experts that will help you build your business. So stay tuned every Wednesday at 2 o'clock Pacific time, and it's either going to be live or a pre-recorded show, and you will benefit from it by listening to the experts and hearing the wise words of wisdom about how to build your business in the right way without getting caught up in the rabbit traps that are out there. So thanks for joining me. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.